Hi, I'm Rebecca Balcarcel with Writers on Writing. Let's talk with poet and performer Michael Gwynn.
Now, can you talk about the power of sound in poetry, like rhyme, rhythm, and you already mentioned repetition. but What does that stuff do, and how do you put it in there?
Well, you know what? Some of that stuff is just innate to the creator of the piece. Just like the way you just used your hands like that. That's just something you do. So that's not anything that you teach. It's just like the momentum of the story or what you're trying to say kind of carries that. So these are natural things. What I would tell people is that you have to do things that you have to write and express what at a pace that's natural to the way you speak. Now, if you are an actor, then it's different. You're called upon to be motivated to bring certain tone or inflections. The same thing works for poetry. Two things I do. One, I write for the page, and two, I write for the stage. And when I write for the page, I'm not worried about tone and sound and that. I want to make sure that it's saying, I want the reader to be able to interpret using their own voice, their own, internal whatever, make their own interpretation like you would a painting. This is what this painting means to me. But when you're writing for performance, you are writing with particular things in mind, like pitch and inflection and tone and repetition. And because you want certain points at the story to either start building or either and then go back down and go up and go here and then drop you off a cliff. So you need to create that kind of rhythm, and it's not hard to do that. Sometimes it's just simple words. Sometimes it's something as simple as a pause. I just paused right there. You see it right there.
Oh,
So you know what I'm saying. So that it pauses work. We call them we call them dramatic pauses, but they work in poetry. Just slowing down, just letting the moment settle, let it marinate. We call it marinating, let it marinate, and then let the reader, catch up to the journey. And so it's just a lot of different ways to do that. And again, your pitch, your tone, if you're writing for performance, you just consider that you are also the audience, and what do you want them to hear? What would you want to hear if you were listening to them read to you? And so if you create with that in mind, you have kind of a performance or a foundation for how you read. Something I have this exercise I do, Rebecca, where I'll bring cans of soup and lotion and shampoo, and I'll ask them to go up and pick one, and I'll have them, or either it'll be baking ingredients or how to make whatever. And I'll have them to read that with that same type of rhythm. Like right here, I have a bag of Cheetos. I have a bag of Cheetos right here. And I'd have them read it. Now, and they would say, um, nutrition facts. One, serving per container. Serving time, one package. Calories, 160 degrees. Now, I would just have them just do things like that, just play fun. And I would tell them now to translate over to what you've written, and look at it as if you're reading, like that. Because I found that when you're a writer and you're writing topics and stories or poems, and you want them to connect, and you're also an author and you're trying to sell books, then you have to find a way to draw people in. So there's that storytelling element combined with that rhythm and that inflection and that tone and then it just creates a natural kind of thing, that little flow, like a heartbeat, and it's yours. Everybody's unique. So that's what I do. I have them just use creative words and descriptive words, and then use tone and inflection and pauses, and then tell the story, and just be yourself, be your authentic self.